Hi, good evening, friends. It's Jason and Madeline, and it's a beautiful sunset here in Taos. And I was watering the garden, and I was inspired to just share briefly about some health tips for the summer for managing the heat of the body, known as Pitta in Ayurveda. And I wanted to share a little bit about what we're learning right now in managing our fire, our heat, as well as our relationship around those elements. So, little starter, it's the summertime in North America, so it's very hot and fiery, and with that, the element of Pitta, which is fire and water, is going to be elevated within our blood, within our body heat, within the elements. So it's nice to protect yourself from the sun and spend more time in cool, shaded environments so you don't get overheated, because that can bring the body out of balance and into agitation and inflammation. So we have been learning a little bit about that and together, and we're really learning to manage that with nutrition. So would you like to share a little bit about how we're doing that with food, more so you?
Yeah, I think just something I want to share first is just, moving from season to season, like really attuning into the different ways in which, intuitively our bodies may be asking us to nourish ourselves in a certain way. So definitely, in the winter and spring here in northern New Mexico, it stays pretty cold. That there's a desire to stay warm, to really keep the fire going and have warm beverages all the time and warm soups and heavier meals with meat and grounding things to put in the body. And very quickly the seasons here have shifted, and all of a sudden it's just the body's reacting in a certain way, this excess fire energy, because now it's getting warmer and we're out in the sun more, and so the body's responding in a certain way to that. And if we kind of get down into the foundations of really who we are as humans and in this realm on earth, is that we're continuously relating with the elemental nature of this realm and our bodies and who we are. And so it's continually tuning into that, and how can we really just bring more balance.
Yeah, we're always dancing with earth, water, fire, air, and ether. In Ayurveda, Vata being the air and the ether element, Pitta being the fire and the water, and Kapha being the water and the earth. And we're all a different ratio of these elements within our innate constitution. And seasonally, with the seasonal shifts, elementally, we pick up more and less of different qualities throughout the seasonal shifts. So both Madeline and I have a lot of Pitta in our constitution, and whether or not you have a lot of fire, passion, intensity in your own innate being, the summer is going to amplify that quality in everybody. So things that you can do to balance that are really being mindful about how much sun and how much heat your body's getting. And from a nutritional standpoint, focusing on raw foods and cooling foods. This is something we've been really diving into from an Ayurvedic lens, getting very specific about every ingredient that goes in the body, every spice, every oil. We've been really pretty much cutting out fish and meat this time of year and doing a lot of raw cooling juices and vegetable meals with sauces, and we've been doing some cooked foods but quite a bit less, and really being attuned to what each spice and each ingredient is doing. If that's heating up the body, then it's creating more pitta, more heat, more inflammation, more irritation. And we found that both of us kind of naturally gravitate to eating fiery foods, because usually people with certain elemental qualities want more of it.
Fire wants more fire. So a lot of like Pitta people also really love like hot showers and
Saunas.
yeah. And so then it's just
coffee.
like bringing the fire, more fire, and then it's just gets out of control, you know. And it's like fire is so beautiful. It can be so like nourishing and warming, and you know, it's like it can keep us warm in the winter. It helps us cook our food. It's like nice to sit by a fire and feel the warmth and the nourishment of that, but like it can also like destroy and burn things down, and so it's just having that balance.
And we see that unfortunately every summer externally in North America. There's massive fires, and I believe that we're a mirror of the elements, and the microcosm, the macrocosm really meet. So by balancing our own elements, I do believe that ripples out into our external world and reality. But to bring it back to a less esoteric space, we've been learning that since both of us have a lot of fire, when we eat fire-promoting foods, it can also create more tension and more irritability and reactivity in our relationship. Yeah. So whether you're in a relationship, an intimate relationship with your wife or your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or you're in a relationship with your friends or with people in your workspace or with your family, whatever that be, paying attention to that fire, that heating quality, and being aware of how it can, animate or also burn relationships is so important.
Well, and even too, like, it's really beautiful how like parents can even bring that wisdom into their dynamic with their children. It's like there's certain foods or certain activities that might create a certain behavioral experience in the child where they're a lot more reactive, fiery, throwing fits, by throwing fits, trying to move energy out of their body, and then it's like, okay, well, what can we do to calm the fire? Okay, let's like chop up some watermelon and make like a cool lime drink for them that might actually bring more balance to that fire and allow their nervous system and their body to settle more deeply into that balanced state.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great wisdom in the Ayurvedic principles around substituting, say, lime for lemons as lime is cooling, substituting maple syrup for honey as maple is cooling. We're a big fan of doing, like lime juice and salt in the morning with minerals, and then we do watermelon, and we do juices in the summer, and making raw zucchini, zoodle dishes, and just really easing off the fire promoting. So there's a lot you can do just from a nutritional standpoint and from an elemental standpoint of how much exercise, how much passion are you, engaging in the summer, and how much sun are you getting, and just there's so much we can control in the world, and there's so much we can't control as well. So we might as well focus on what we can, because by mastering our internal environment, that ripples out to all of our relations and everyone we come in contact with. So it's a really tense time in the world, with a lot of wars and chaotic things happening, volcanoes.
A lot of Pitta, a lot of fire,
right now.
A lot of planets moving into Aries.
A lot of wars, a lot of volcanoes, a lot of solar flares, a lot of heat. So myself, I'm someone that used to get in the sun all day, and I could regulate from just getting in the river a couple times a day. But now, I have to be so careful, or I can burn myself, fire myself. I feel that the rays from the sun these days are so potent and so strong. Our ancestors did not adapt to this kind of solar radiation. So just really be attuned, protect your skin. I love coconut oil on the skin is really cooling, and oils are really protective. Aloe vera on the skin is really cooling and protective. And just managing like your element, your fire, and doing your best to find that balance for yourself. So I highly encourage y'all to just digest the message, see if it resonates, and do some research. Pick up a simple book on Ayurvedic principles and foods and spices and herbs, and there's heaps of information on the internet. So that's a great place to learn if you're interested in this. Anything else you want to share?
No.
All right. Appreciate you for watching. And